Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this section, we will look at subqueries and CTEs, or common table expressions. So I do use both of these all the time, and having a good understanding of them is important. So let's look at subqueries first. So a subquery is a query that appears inside another query statement. So you would commonly use these to take an aggregate of an aggregate, or a calculation of an aggregated field, such as average count of orders. So you can see here what it would look like. You will have a select statement inside brackets. And you will name this, as you can see I named it T1. So think of the output of this as being a table that you are now querying from. Here's an example. You can see I have the order date and a count of order number, which will show the orders. So now we will just show all columns from this table. So let's use this query to calculate the average amount of orders. Okay, so I've just opened up a new query. So I'll just show what the subquery will be displaying. So if we want to select the order date and a count of the order number, we'll name that actually as orders, and that's from the orders table, and we just need to group by our order date. Okay, so we can see how many orders there were each day. So some day had 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now we're going to just create a table with this. So let's just put it in brackets. So we'll just open and close brackets, and we just need to name it. So we name it after the closing bracket as T1. So you can actually write as T1 or just leave it as T1. You don't have to write as. And then above it, we'll just write select star from. So this is now our table. And then if we run that, we'll get the same output. But now we can change this star, and then we can create another calculation from our aggregate that came out. So now we can just do an average of orders. Although I expect it to be quite low. Yeah, you can see only 1.23 was the average amount of orders. And what we could also do, so I'll just highlight this subquery. If you just highlight any part of a query and execute it, it will only execute that highlighted query. So again, it's just going to return the table. But say we wanted to, for example, we'll order this by order date. You can see there's more orders a bit later on, so we could add in a where statement after our subquery, just like we would after a table, and we'll do where order date is greater than, let's say, I'll just open our quotation 2005 05 01, and then we can run that order date, and you can see it's slightly higher then. Okay, so in the next video we will look at a common table expression, or CTE.